First thing is thank everybody. So I want to thank our dean. He gives me a lot of credit, but without him, this would not happen. I do want to fill in some of the details. Some of the details I want to fill in is that after he asked me to come here, my wife didn't think we wanted to move from Toronto to this city, which is kind of gastronomic wasteland or whatever it was. And it wasn't, but that's what we thought. Anyway, I told Hassan that I came to come here, and I finally went to Hong Kong. It took maybe 6 or 8 months before I finally said yes. Homin was by my side in Hong Kong. We were discussing back and forth with Hassan's office and stuff. And somebody said, "You're writing a lot of papers. Do you want to give the school?" I said, "That looks like a good idea." That was one of the singular things. I also asked him not to give me any administrative appointment, and he has lived to that promise. I have not done any administrative duties for him. I told him I also don't want to run down here, if you want to meet together, so let's have a lunch every 2 weeks. So that's been happening for all these years. But in the beginning, he was paying for the lunch. I said, if you want to pay for lunch, then have every week. But then we decided to have every 2 weeks, and that tradition continues. So he's my boss, my friend, whatever you call it. But without him, this was a good thing. Okay? So thank him. Thank all the keynote speakers here. They have been named before, and so I just want to go faster. And Leanne with the Nostalgic Church down memory lane. Colleagues and friends who are here from here and from everywhere. And current and former students who are here. And our local friends. Let me see, there are people there who are my gym buddies. We see them 6-7 days a week. There is a friend here who drives me to the airport. Pretty much since I've been here, and his wife here. He's from Ethiopia. We have a lot of discussion. He's not just a driver. He knows a lot of things. So anyway, it's a good thing. Then of course we have a Sethi family. Sethi family. I just want to say to you that there are 10 families from my father's descent. They live in the U.S. and most of them are here. And it's so great to be having everybody here. Last time, when 60th birthday comes, Kathy was the program here. We had only Pankaj, and I think Pankaj and Amanti was here, and my family was here. But now there are a lot more, so that's nice to have. Just briefly, that paper that was published in Farm that Kalyan mentioned was in your registration packet. I just want to quickly go through this because a lot has been said about this. So, here in 1997, I joined as a street professor, and of course, building the OM area was a challenge. We decided we were going to do it, but we had no idea this would happen. But anyway, it happened. And so, there was only one professor in the OM when I was here, 2 in OR, 2 in ISI, and those two include Hassan, because he came 1 year before me. School was primarily an evening school with 4 course teaching roles. The OSHA program in OM. Fortunately, I founded a program in Toronto, and so I had some experience of founding a PhD program, only being the first graduate for the OM PhD program. And then, of course, there was much to build, and given what we had to begin with, we could not believe anyway. So, what has been achieved is not short of a miracle. And since you have the article, I'm going to make it very short. So, ranking based on 5 OM journal publications. Here is the orange line. The orange line is UDD. I don't put it before that because before 1997, we don't know where we were. I think Rahul tells me we were number 150. But in any case, wherever we were, we moved to 77. And then we kept our march going up all the way. You see the based on 5 journals in OM, which are, you know what they are. And so all the way in OM, in terms of publication, we became #1 as of 2020. And then, to drill down further, I said, okay, we were #1, but what about the score? Well, in terms of score, by 2023, you see in the score, we were like nowhere. If you go to here, our score is 80.33 publications. I don't want to go into detail about how the score is divided. And as you can see, there is another person here, another person here, but we are by far, quite far out. Okay, so this is a little bit of a short thing of what we did here. And then let's see, just quickly what the strategy was. We knew that we couldn't compete with Harvard or Northwestern at that time, or Stanford. But what we could do is bring high quality people and let them publish like hell, and we can then get into a research. So this is what we try to do. Of course, it was hard to hire people with a 4-course teaching load, so we made it a 3-course teaching load. It was hard to hire without a PhD program, so we started a PhD program. And of course, in the beginning, it was hard to hire people, so we hired people that we could hire. Omin was one of them, one my former postdoc, Chelia was one of them. And there were people who were not in a business school that we could hire. Milton being one of them, IT department. So anyway, these were some of the things we could hire. I just want to. So I don't know which is my class. Thank you. Okay. So these were some of the strategies that we did. And I just want to go quickly to see that some factors we need to grow. Again, leadership of the dean and full support of him. I could literally call him at midnight and Tuli says, hello, do you want Hassan? I said, yes, and please give an offer. So all of this happened sometimes, so we were very fast on our feet. And then I had a seminar running all the way since 1997. People came here, went home, got our faces outside. David came here, Caesar came here, so a number of people came here during this seminar. So this one, we had a PhD program, we had a salary that was competitive, but competitive, if we're competitive in New York and California, it is more than competitive in Texas, because Texas is lower cost living than there would be some support, there would be teaching load, political environment, but there are external factors. We could not build a school in Topeka, Kansas, but it is Dallas, right? So it has a world-class airport, everywhere we fly non-stop, there's no state city taxes, no cost of living. My weather, this is good help for us because we interview in December, January after the Reform Conference, and they come here and they say, why am I living in a North Pole, out in the middle of the ice field, and this is a nice climate here during that period. So maybe some before. Anyway, and there's a tremendous growth locally. So all of these are some of the quick summary of why we were able to build what we are today. And then comes a 6-year birthday celebration that happened in France, in Aix-en-Provence. You see Beth Susan giving a seminar here. That it was in a chateau. It was at a real-life chateau. You can see Elena and Helmut were singing there on the piano. You see birthday cake. You see this photo with Kathy. You see some good things presented. There was some food outside. So I want to say that, but then I want to also do that. This has to play how to do it. So this is my little speech, but it's a very short little speech. I don't remember the rest of the song. This is a classical song from India, and I did not remember the line. Although now that I've sang many songs in my YouTube channel, so I could sing it literally. So let me try. Let me try. मोहे पनघट पे नंदलाल छेड़ गयो रे मोहे पनघट पे. इसका मोहे मारी गगरिया फोड़ डाली हाय गगरिया फोड़ डाली हाय बड़ी नाजुक कलाई मरोड़ गयो. So anyway, I don't remember the words, but yes. That was what I said. Okay, so continue on. And then homie said, why was I not invited? I said, these were the control theory people. They invited people from all over the world. One of the guys was guys from the side street there. So homie said, okay, I'm going to have a conference in Texas. So he decided to move this thing. They invited Heavy Marcus for keynote speaker, Sethi was the program chair. So we decided to have a conference 2006. Not near 2000, we're already gone. So in 2006, I was actually 61. But anyway, we had a conference 60th birthday, and that's going to come next. So as you can see here, somebody's honoring me here with a shawl, silk shawl, which is the Indian tradition of how you honor people. Balachandran was a master of ceremony. They did conference with all the students. There's Andrea enjoyed some joke or something, whatever it was. There is some photos of the family here. There is Elena singing here. And there is a Mike Toxer dancing with Chicago. These are students of mine who are with me at that time. Here's the cat, Mr. Rafi, Lynn Marco is presenting a speech. Here's Andrea trying to give a speech, and I think the babies are giving a speech. One of them. Anyway, and then the photo here, I sort of went there, and some ladies went there, and all of the ladies went there and threw a photo of all the ladies and just me. Yeah, that's me, right? Okay. So that was the photo, and so that was a very nice conference. But in that conference, that guy, Hobson, who was our host, and he said, Suresh is lying for getting this conference, about his age, just to get this conference. So that, I remember that. So I said, okay. I sent my conference email to Mike Trick. Mike Trick is a Carnegie Mellon professor. He is now the Abu Dhabi campus. I think he's in charge. He said, it can't be that you are 60. Surely you're 80. Surely it should be 10 years off. So this thing kind of goes on. So I decided I'm going to show you how I have changed over the years. Okay? So I'm going to have one photo of Sethi. That's my earliest photo. So that's 1956. And we did not have the camera. So that is it. I was in 6th grade, that was my photo. And then that's my husband. That's my husband. And that's and there are photos, but I just want to mention some of the photos. What does that half smile remind you of? Mona Lisa, you're right. Okay.
The mustache experiments were short-lived, 62 and 70.
Okay, here. After 2 nights and 3 days of walking on Wangshan, which is Yellow Mountain, we decided when we came down, halfway through there was a spa. So we decided to enjoy the spa. Some fish started cleaning my feet. And I looked at the picture and I said, George Clooney had not this picture. This is somewhat similar to George Clooney. And then we come to that food. Anybody? Move over to our table. Anyway, still there was a lot of movie things. Anyway, I'm going to now go to that one because during the pandemic, I decided to sing. So I'm going to sing a song here, but it is a song where the refrain is Mera Juta Hai Japani. So when that comes, I'm going to go like this so you can all sing along with the refrain. So I'm going to get there. So again, yeah. Just like this? Oh, okay. So there may be a little bit of music here to just warm you up. Oh, the head is from Anjali. She brought me that from Uganda, even though I can't go there. Mera juta hai Japani. Speak, repeat after me. Mera juta hai Japani. It means my shoes are from Japan. That's all it means. Well, you can sing this one.
for the US 1966, right? His first trip was 1970 back to India, and that's the picture he came with, 1970 picture, with a mustache. We all got, what a shock we got.
I know, my mother said, you look older than your brother, so I have to say my and so these are last two photos. I listed Bolivia because Bolivia is a country that I recently been going to, and it is a wonderful place. When you arrive there, it's a 4,200-meter La Paz airport. Anyway, I don't want to tell all the story, but I do want to say that I'm sitting on a salt flat. That flat is 11,500 square kilometers. It's like a whole country, all salt. And so when I was there, I had some friends and stuff. So I said, you know, I have to run here. It's a 4,000 meter. Somebody, I have to say. So I ran there. I have a video of that running in 4,000 meter. So I just want to say that. And that last photo is a recent photo of 2025 Wales. So this is my little photos. Then comes academic Marco Polo. So I just want to briefly touch on a few things here. That's Brazil. Long time ago, I was in a wedding in Mexico, not a wedding, but I was in a hotel somewhere, and I was walking through, and there was a wedding on there, and said, come on, mistake. So I was come on, mistake. I just want to say some photo, that photo you want to see. But you know, you go to places. Here I'm at 47 years almost. That's a conference in Manila, and everybody was under there. And I basically said, okay, I'm not going to give my talk, just give me a talking board and I'm just going to say something. Okay? And then came this place. That's that is a newspaper article in the second largest city in Indonesia called Yogyakarta. I see 3 newspaper cities covering me, and there is this big right-side poster of me. It says sitting limited. I told this guy, I have never gone to a talk where sitting was limited. In fact, I'll be happy if half the seats were full. So he said, I said, what is the secret here? He said, oh, we are ordering food, so we have to find out how many people. But then I said, who are these people? He said, they're all in the building. I said, my God, I'm giving a talk of personal observation for the public. These guys doesn't know anything. And so I said, bring a big board and a chalk. So they brought this board and a chalk. So I asked these people, do you know what a probability is? No. You know what a EOQ model is? No. So I basically start right from the scratch, all the way to my timeout. And then I give my 2 slides. I said, when you don't know the inventory, that's where I come in. And then I will ask 2 slides. And then you wouldn't believe, if I gave my talk, everybody would go to sleep. But what I gave was, everybody was out. At the end, everybody comes to me and take a photo with me because they enjoy this talk. So sometimes you have to know who the audience are. You don't want to give your talk just because you read the slides. The slides are no good if nobody understands what the slides are going to do. So I just want to say, there are stories about all of these places. I can write a book about it. So I don't want to say this story. I go to Galapagos. I go to Galapagos. And I go to this place where the giant turtles are roaming around. On the way there is a lava tunnel. This lava tunnel is a picture that is a 400 meter long. And the guy draws me on one end, and he said, I'll meet you that way. So I go in. This is after hours. All the troops are gone. So I go in. And I go about 100 meters, and all the lights every 20 meters, got out. Total twist up. You can't see your fingers. And there's nothing works. Phone doesn't work. And I shout by this other guy waiting for me, he cannot hear me. So I figured there's nothing I can do. All I can do is sit there, and in the morning some people will, or the guy will, after 2 hours or whatever, he will find somebody to fetch me out. Or if he comes out and he gets stuck, then I and he will get stuck. And nobody will come to me. So I decided to sit there calmly, do nothing. I was scared. But I sat there, and my mind was saying, morning they'll fish me out, and there's the article in the newspaper, Professor Sethi found in a lava tunnel. So that was a story to tell. And one more story I will tell. Here's a man. That name means Skiba. Turns out that I did something in 1970, and he did something in 1971, but he published in a better journal than I published in Jota, he published something in 1970. Everybody calls Skiba. And I finally told the community that I have done Skiba going before Skiba. So then now the point is called Sethi Skiba point. But Skiba wanted to see me. I went to Montenegro for a conference, and there was Skiba. And so when I go to this conference, and somebody said, you know, there's a name there, who wants to see you? So there is Skiba, and we took a photo. So Sethi Skiba point, there is a Sethi Skiba. Okay, so I think I'm going to, so this is my academic scene. That's a picture taken by Anjali in Costa Rica.
How did you get out of the lava tunnel?
Huh?
How did you get out of the lava tunnel?
Oh,
How did you get out?
so after about 40 minutes, it was my skin. And then I went through. It's not easy tunnel. It's you are going up and down. There's one way the hole through. But anyway, I finally got out and this guy took 15 minutes. I tell you, you don't understand. And I said, like, finally said, oh. So that's, it was easy, but that's true. So let's see. So you got to see about it. It's fine. There are a lot of stories to tell, but I'm going to continue. And then here is some photos of family. I just want to spend a little time on this. So, the first two photos of my father and mother. I was born the 11th child of my father. And I think it's the Indian tradition happens. They look at me and says, hey mom, I will kid, let's stop. But my father took a oath of celibacy after I was born. And that's not because of me, I'm just saying. But it is because in Jain tradition, sometime in your life, if you want to go to heaven, you sort of want to go to take the oath of celibacy. So that's what happened. But anyway, there are a lot of stories to tell about that. So that's my father. I was born when he was 60. My mother was 40, over 40. So he would be 140 today, my father. Yeah, can you believe that? No. That's that. And now you see Eiffel Tower. You already heard about that from a person here. Eiffel Tower. So I have to say that if my marriage was not put in heaven, if my marriage was not made in heaven, at least it was put, a seed was planted in Eiffel Tower, not too far below him. So there is a photo of investiture. There's a photo of a Shravi party where we were drinking margarita together. There's an annual graduation in 2015 where the girls decided they were going to give me a big kiss. And there is a photo of Chantal and me. We were doing pandemic together, and there were two of us walking every day. And on the St. Patrick's Day, our girl was born on St. Patrick's Day. We decided to have a St. Patrick's Day party at home and drinking green margarita that Chantal figured out. And yeah, and then the last photo is our little daughter has now become a surfing person. She's surfed in Indonesia, Sri Lanka, South Africa, Australia, name it. I mean, she's a surfer now. So I never thought any Sethi family member would ever be a surfer again. So here it is. And then we go. So I just want to recognize again all of those people who had their birthdays this year, and anyone who had a birthday this week, and all others who had a birthday this week. Happy birthday to all of you. Thank you very much for coming to this party. I really appreciate very much for all you being here. I definitely appreciate this is the first time. Last time when the party happened with the birthday were these and Pankaj and Avanti. Now we have a clan here, okay? So it's good to see all of you. Thank you again.